Hello, all, and welcome to episode 28 of the WINANDin podcast. It is the two amigos once again. My name is Eric Dauernheim, and this is Gabe Hohenstein.
Yeah, that's me, the cow, today.
Anyhow, we were joking that I never can get Gabe's last name right. It's Hohenstein, Holston, I don't know.
That's something. It's just a hoe at this point. As long as you say hoe, we're just leave it there. We're content.
There you go. So we are going to be going over the Battle Hardened LA results as well as the Ace tournament that happened the following day. And then we have a few new spoilers. So we got some things to talk about
from that event.
Yeah,
we played it all.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just start the event. We might as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday was the Battle Hardened Los Angeles, a nearly sold out event. I think it was 148 players. So that was pretty damn cool. Love to see these Battle Hardens getting so many players. So it's really cool to see. And yeah, being on the West Coast, giving some West Coast events, that was really cool as well. So a lot of people have been waiting for that. So I'm glad we finally had that.
No, definitely well needed.
Yeah, they had a meta breakdown, but I don't quite know where that is. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I saw it at one point. I saw that there was 10 Kanos, and that was like my main takeaway from it, which I thought was pretty cool.
10 Kanos, yeah.
But golly, I really don't remember where the meta breakdown for that is, because I don't think the actual Flesh and Blood Twitter or anything really commented too much about Battle Hardened LA.
Yeah. I'm not quite 100% sure where the meta breakdown was. I played in the event. I saw quite a bit of Oldhams, quite a bit of Lexis, quite a bit of Uzuris, and Dromais even. So it kind of fit what you would suspect, like the top 5 heroes to be. But Kano being at 10 kind of makes sense because, believe it or not, Kano is actually he's a pretty big presence in the meta right now. He's kind of one of the heroes you should kind of expect to see. Kano's always does very well in a well-established meta, and this meta is very well-established at this point. It's on its, I think that Battle Hardened was like its last big event for the meta itself. Everything else will be with DTD coming out. So,
which is so close.
Very, very close. So when you have an established meta like this, Kano seems to be able to know what he needs to do to win. I think that's why we saw so many Kanos and even one in the top 8, which is really cool.
Okay, I got the breakdown. This is for June Open. So no, it's not.
The H event?
Okay, this is, because I brought June Open metagame breakdown. So this was for Battle Hardened Los Angeles.
Okay.
So this is just some of the words got up. So 23 Lexis, 17 Oldham, 12 Uzuri, 10 Bravo, 10 Kano, 8 Azalea, 8 Dromai, 7 Briar, 7 Dash, 6 Fi, 6 Katsu, 6 Riptide, 6 Viscerai, 5 Dorinthia, 12 other decks.
Only 6 Viscerai is kind of interesting. Viscerai has been seeing a little bit more play as of recently, but maybe it was just a little bit of a bump that just went back down. Let's talk about the top 8 here. Well, I guess I'll just mention I did play in the event. I had a lot of fun. Felt like this is probably the first event where I felt like I was most on my game. Unfortunately, did not make the top 8 with it. I did lose to a Dromai one round, and it was really due to more of a technical ruling, which was nobody's fault but my own. But I just never really thought about the activation of attack versus attacking, which I think cost me the game there. But that's okay. You live, you learn. That's how you learn these things. So definitely didn't make that mistake again. And then I did face Tao Tao on Uzuri. That was on stream. You can check that out. I don't necessarily want you to because I lost that one. But I lost that game. I did not have Frost Hexes in. The reason being, I know a lot of the casters were wondering what that was all about. Whenever practicing for this event, I faced a lot of Uzuri players on Talishar, and I think just about every single one was doing Redline Uzuri. So I was more in tune to be able to face that sort of deck than a Uzuri that ran more blues. And so therefore the Frost Hexes weren't needed in Redline, but it was definitely needed there. So, had we faced again, I would have definitely brought those in, would have had a better result in that. And then my final loss of the day was to the guy that got the Battle Hardened first place last time. And he was playing Guardian. He was playing Oldham. So I went 5-3. I got 30th. But overall, I felt like I learned one thing with the rulings, and then feel more prepared for the Uzuri matchup. And I felt pretty good going day 2. But yeah, so that was my experience. But now let's get into top 8, shall we?
Yeah, no, totally. Killer top 8.
Okay, so in this top 8, we saw 4 Lexis, as she is the most most represented. She was most represented in the entire thing, and in the top 8. Then we see a Katsu, which is pretty cool since there's only, what, you said 6 Katsus?
Yeah, not a lot.
Which is surprising to me because I actually think if Oldham is something you're not facing, but there was a lot of Oldham, so probably a lot of Katsus face a lot of those. But if you don't have to deal with Oldham, Katsu is a really good deck. So not too surprised to see one in the top 8. We do have an Oldham in the top 8, only one, which that kind of blew my mind, honestly. We saw 1 Kano, and then that 1 Fi as well? So 2 ninjas. A very interesting top 8. Pretty damn cool. I think this goes to show from this top 8, like how good this meta was. I know some people might be kind of bored with it now, but the truth is, like, this meta has a ton of diversity in its top 8s throughout the different events. There has not been one part where it was like the calling of before, where it was like just Icelander and Oldham or something.
Yeah, no,
we're seeing a lot of diversity.
You can have fun and play your games in this meta, which is cool.
I think so. Yeah. I always say that there's the top 5, and so that's Oldham, Lexi, Dromai, Uzuri, and then the 5th one is whatever you insert there. Because I honestly think there's quite a bit of decks like Katsu. Even this 1 Fi got there. Icelander. There's quite a bit of decks that can make that number 5. So
it's just how skilled you are with that deck, and if it's your deck you've been playing forever, every in and out. That brings it in.
Yeah, definitely. So that was the top 8. Into the top 4, we get the Katsu winning, but the Fi did not. That kind of makes sense. I think Katsu's a better ninja right now. Katsu faced a Lexi again there. The Fi lost to a Lexi. So we have a Lexi, a Katsu. The Lexi beat the only Oldham that was in the top 8. So
nice.
no Guardians in this top 8. And then the Kano beat the Lexi.
So cool.
Which was piloted by Majin Bay, the K-Fab team. And I am very familiar with both Peter and Caleb Majin Bay from that team. And they are both Wizard mains. They love the Wizard class. So it's really cool to see one of them make it in, especially in the top 4. However, when we get to the finals, it is no longer diversified. It is the Lexi mirror. The Lexi beat the Katsu, and the other Lexi beat the Kano. And a name that you would be very familiar with, and that is going to be a guest on our next week's episode, Brody Spurlock, was one of those Lexis. Of course, if there is a battle hardened and there's nothing else going on, you should expect to see his name. And that's exactly what we have. Went against Anthony Pham and was able to take it. So Brody took battle hardened LA with none other than Lexi and had a good showing about it. And it was very, very cool.
Yeah, no, it was a sweet game. I mean, all the stream matches were awesome. Like, Majin Bay versus Anthony Pham, that game was really cool. Like, the very last wire was like one to the total. That one was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Even the finals was a great game. So, It was interesting to watch.
Yeah, no, I kind of wish I knew how to play Kano a little bit more and got familiar with him because
It's so cool.
it seems like a great time to play it, and it seems very, very fun. And also, you're just done with your games real quick.
Right. Got time
That
to
part's pretty nice.
Yeah, God, get some food, go on a walk, go to the bathroom. Your mind might be cooking, but then you give it some time to rest.
I think if we saw Majin Bay and Brody in the finals, that would have been Brody's fastest game.
Oh golly, that is not wrong.
But yeah, so good job to Brody. Like I said, he'll be our guest in the next week's episode. We have a lot to talk about. We'll talk about a little bit about the LA stuff, but this is just another win in the pocket or PTI in the pocket for Brody. So we won't delve too long into that. I have some other questions we'll talk about. It'll be a fun, interesting podcast for sure. But yeah, let's get into day 2, shall we?
Oh, without a doubt, I'm excited. This is you killed it in day 2, so I want to hear all about it.
Okay, so day 2 was the Age Open event for June. The pricing was actually better in this event than it was the Battle Hardened, which is interesting.
So I was
I
was curious about that because I tried finding online where the prizes were, but I was unable to. So
I think there was about $200 more in cash prize to first place in this event. And then both events, you had a gold foil and a PTI. And so this was an event to try to win that. It was a little bit less people. I think we had like 96 people.
Okay.
So a little less, but 96 is still a really good number.
Huge.
I think it's probably the biggest. It's probably the biggest number wise for these Age Open events, which makes sense with it being right next to the Battle Hardened. So, and it was a ton of fun. It ended up being 7 rounds. I was able to go 5-2 into it, making top 8. So that was awesome. And like I said, like the day before, I felt like I was most prepared for this tournament than I have been for any other tournament. And then I carried over some of the things I learned from Saturday into Sunday, and I think that really helped out and really made the difference, and is why I was able to top 8 this event. And let's go into breaking that down, shall we?
We shall.
All right, so top 8, we once again see 4 Lexis in the top 8. So Lexi representing once again. But we have a little bit of differences in the top 8 in this one. We see a Dromai in the top 8 here. So we got a Dromai, which was one of the matches I lost to. Just could not get a popper to save my life. So, and that was like in the rounds leading up top 8. We also see a Viscerai in the top 8 as well. So 2 new heroes to make top 8. As well as Icelander, which was I was on. So I am representing that wizard that we saw. The last one is representing that here. And then we see one Oldham again, which is the same Oldham that made top 8, Matthew 4. So congrats to him making top 8 both days. But we also see Brody Spurlock in this making top 8 both days. So, and he was again on Lexi. So that was the top 8 breakdown. The 2 Lexi players face each other, and Brody is eliminated in the first round on this one. I guess you can't have it all, so that's fine. He has enough. We have the Viscerai and Dromai go at it, which you got to imagine out of all the other decks, probably Dromai wanted to face anyone else but Viscerai.
Yep.
And, Viscerai did win that one. I faced a Lexi. Which that game was streamed. You can check out that game. I'm a little bit more proud of that game just because I played to the best of my ability. It was just pretty cracked stuff I was seeing, which is how it goes. I'm not any way salty or think that it's like, oh, my opponent just got lucky. That is just how the game can go. And
what was awesome about his deck, Eric? He had some spice in there, which is pretty sweet.
He had you're right. You're absolutely right. He had the card that basically was able to get him out of a bind, which was Trench of the Sunken Treasure. He had the treasure chest.
So cool.
which did wonders because it made my encase not be as effective, because instead of just being able to basically time walk the Lexi if they have a face down arrow on their arsenal, he can now use the trench to free up his arsenal and continue on with his turn, which is exactly what he did. So a very interesting deck build, but one that got him all the way to top 8 and even all the way up to the finals. So he did beat me in that game. But yeah, go check it out. It's a great game. And then Matthew Vore was able to, with Oldham, was able to beat the Lexi player as well. So in the semifinals, we have Lexi versus Viscerai. The Lexi is able to get there. Mm-hmm. I think the reason is that Viscerai does have the Royals, stuff to him to give explosive turns, but you can only basically cash in once, where Lexi has three of a kinds, and so she has more big turns, and I think that's why she has the slight edge there. And then the Lexi was able to defeat the Oldham, being able to stack very well in order to get over the defense. And so another Lexi mirror in the finals. So Lexi really taking it over for the weekend in LA.
Yeah, Lexi, it's a good deck. It's proven itself.
That's for sure. It is her time. The other two Tales of Aria heroes have had their time. It is definitely Lexi's time now. And we will see if she is something to be reckoned with even into the next set with DTD coming out.
That's like right around this corner. I'm excited to see what the meta turns into.
Yeah, definitely. So, maybe let's just get into that. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about for the.
You guys had a booth there. How'd that go? I asked you a little bit, but I didn't see some fans. What all went down?
That's true. We did have a booth there. We had a Metal Fab Tokens booth with Flesh and Baubles as well, and sold some great metal tokens, sold some shirts, sold some keychains. Met some fans. Appreciated that. That was fun to see. Always love meeting the fans. It's the best part. And yeah, I got to talk with a lot of different people. I actually really like working behind the booth in between rounds. It's pretty fun. Okay, let's talk about spoilers, because we had two. We had two that came out since our last episode. So let's talk about some spoilers, because I think these cards are pretty cool.
Oh, man, unbelievably cool.
Yeah. Okay, here I'm on the spoiler page. Okay, so the first one we have is Lost in Thought, a illusionist majestic action. Costs 1 resource, is only in red, and it blocks for 2. And it says, look at target hero's hand, choose an attack action card. If you do, put that card on the bottom of their deck and create a ponder token, and then it has go again. So a way to be able to take out some 6 power. But so I kind of see it in that way. What do you think?
So yeah, first few thoughts about this card. Really cool and all. So Mara Ferris, I think, was the one that spoiled it. I think it's always cool to give credit to people who put out such sweet cards. First thing when I saw this card, it says Lost in Thought. You get a stripper card from a hand. So my mind, being as an old Magic player, goes to Thoughtseize. But then as all the boys had to tell me, it's more like a Vendilion, like if you're into that kind of thing. And those kind of mechanics in card games is by far my favorite. Like back in the day, any type of Death Shadow, like hand disruption, like where you're going to be a little more controlling, but like still doing your stuff is so cool. So I'm really excited to see a new mechanic in the game with this.
Yeah, I mean, because maybe, even if you're not even worried about their opponent having Phantasm Poppers or anything like that, like just being able to take out their best card from their hand.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
so good. And then, they get a Ponder token, but like, they don't get to use that Ponder token until the end of their turn. So
maybe an arsenal.
Is it worth it to him? Like, it's really, really
card
good.
Is sweet. I'm stoked. I'm surprised. Coming out of Illusionist out of everything.
Yeah. I mean, so it could be a Dromai card even.
Yeah.
It's even possible for it to be a Dromai card. It's a red card, so it would kind of fit within what she wants to do. This is a very interesting card. I am curious to see how it's going to be played. It definitely seems more of a control style card, so it'd be very cool to see that. That would attract me as a control player for sure. Okay, all right. Well, let's go to the next spoiler. This one came out just a day ago from this recording. Yeah. So Diabolic Offering. A very, very cool art. I'm all about the art. The
Oh
art looks
man,
sick.
so sick.
I'm into that sort of gory stuff.
Surgical
But
extraction.
yeah, so
Uh,
it's a blue majestic, so it's only going to be in blue. It only costs one. It has a star for block and a star for attack. So let's
mhm.
read it. If a card with 6 or more power has been put into your banish zone this turn, Diabolic Offerings power and defense are 6. Otherwise, they are 0. And it has blood depth as well. So
So crazy.
it definitely looks to show us that there's going to be some cards that could possibly work with this. Right now, we know of Mark of the Beast.
Yep.
So if no cards came out that doesn't work with this, you could block with a Mark of the Beast on one attack, which would then banish itself, and then you could block with this for 6 power,
Which is so strong
for nothing because it's an action. So it's not even like defense reaction. So it's a 0 for 6 if you were using it as a block. It's a 1 for 6 if you're coming in with an attack. So if you Dread Screamer, then you can come in it for 1 for 6. So it's almost a blue 6 power.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. Just the mechanic of I just love the blocking idea with this card.
Yeah, the blocking is very cool. It's something that we haven't quite seen yet. Yeah, but there was something else that was revealed, wasn't there? Levia Redeemed.
Oh my lord, can you believe it? A brand new name.
So yeah, this suggests that the possibility of having a new Levia hero is not 0.
It could happen.
There's something that might be to this name. This might be the new Levia, but it might not. You Levia fans out there are very used to being disappointed. So it very well could just be,
it could be
just wording.
Man, Twitter thinks otherwise. Twitter is blowing up talking about all the things that it could be.
Oh yeah. So yeah, and then one thing that just kind of grazed my mind today was that it might just be a new Levia that we're getting, but it might not be, adult and young hero. It might just be adult. It might just be young. That's usually kind of what we get when it's these expansion sets. We don't usually get the young and old. Arachne we did, but when you're talking about stuff like Yoji, Icelander, Starvo, we're seeing stuff that we only saw one version at that time. So this might be something similar. Yeah. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, either way, it's super sweet. Levia fans are excited. I think anyone's excited because brutes are some of the funnest heroes you can play. So, yeah.
Yes, that is for sure. And yeah, that goes about it as far as the spoilers that has came out. We have gotten our spoiler. We have seen our spoiler.
Talk about spoilers, bro.
Yeah. We are set to release it on July 2nd. That is the Sunday, I believe. Yeah, so we have that coming. We are putting out little fun riddle hint games out on Twitter. So if you want to have a stab at it, we already had one person guess it, but he was not on Twitter. So, but if you guess it, maybe we'll give you something.
Maybe we can see what it could happen.
And we can see what kind of happens.
Right? But yeah, no, so spoilers gonna come out, it's gonna be awesome. And then we got all of the other spoiler videos that we make, as you guys already know, where we recap, or Eric recaps it, I throw it together. That's online for you beautiful people to see. So you don't want to stay tuned. Notification bell on this week.
Yes. I mean, that is definitely coming. The Icelander videos are being wrapped up. Those are coming. We have a video filled week ahead of us.
Yeah.
And it's just it's our busy season right now. So we're looking forward to giving you guys some content.
So you guys, we're just grateful for all of you too, because it has been cooking lately. And that's
true.
A blessing for sure.
Definitely. Okay. Well, I think we covered it since the last time. Just want to say, just as Gabe, just going over what Gabe just said, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being a part of the Sneep family.
It's a big fan. I'm going to give so many people hugs when I see them.
Yes. Who they are. Oh, That is good because there is one more thing I wanted to announce. I have some video ideas brewing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to the first of it is going to start, like I said, with our next week's guest, Brody Spurlock.
Yep.
So maybe I'll spoil some more when we get into that. But I'm going to have a all right. I'm going to have a little mini doc series where we're going to discuss the pulse of flesh and blood across the states, because I hear in some places it's booming and some places it's dwindling. But in all the big tournaments, just like the Battle Hard in LA here, it has been growing. So I kind of want to get the pulse across the nation. I'm also going to be talking to different teams and seeing how that they prepare for these tournaments. So got a lot coming, and we're going to start with Brody. So you guys can see right there when it happens for that one. But a lot of these interviews are going to happen at nationals, and it is not just for anyone in Pacific. If you want to come and tell me what your local scenes is like, if you want to tell me how your team prepares, come find me. I'll be at the booth. I'll be all around. I will be wearing the most wackiest jersey that stands out from everyone.
Let's go.
So come find me. I would just ask you a few questions. It wouldn't be any more than like 2 minutes. But that's what we're going to have going on. So I'm very excited for that and getting that video out there. So
yeah, no, definitely anyone from anywhere, definitely go to Eric, because it'd be sweet to have like a little roadmap of the United States and other countries around here where we can mark off like you go to each state, you get a little magnet, put on your fridge. We want each state. We want each little area.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Don't be afraid.
Yes. I want as many people as possible. And then, if you want to be recorded on a video or not, that's,
yeah, that's a great way to get featured on the Sneep channel, baby. You always want to show your mom that you're on live TV.
If you're camera shy, you just, I'll take just the written word as well. So all good. Okay, that has been episode 28. We'll get episode 29 coming here soon. But until then, guys, keep on fabbing, and I'll catch y'all next time.